Apple has just made a massive move with the iPhone 17, and the effects of this decision are going to be felt as soon as next month. For the very first time, Apple is making all iPhone 17 models in India. This isn't just a small shift, it's a decision that could change how smooth the launch day goes, how easily people get their hands on the phone, and even how Apple handles its production strategy in the future. The iPhone 17 is Apple's biggest release of the year, scheduled for September, and the company is preparing in a big way. According to new reports, Apple is scaling up production in India across 5 factories. That means when the iPhone 17 lineup launches, every model from the base iPhone 17 to the Pro versions will have been manufactured in India. This is the first time in history that Apple has taken such a step. Now, let's break this down. The expansion includes major production plants like Tata Group in Tamil Nadu and the new Foxconn facility near Bangalore Airport. These plants are freshly operational, and the Tata facilities, in particular, are expected to handle up to half of India's iPhone production over the next 2 years. That's a huge share, showing Apple's confidence in the region's capability. We've already seen exports from India grow dramatically this year. Between April and July alone, nearly $7.5 billion worth of iPhones were shipped from India. To give some perspective, the total for the entire previous fiscal year was $17 billion. So in just a few months, India is almost halfway to last year's record. According to a report from Canalys, this surge in exports could even mean that India has overtaken China as the leading manufacturer of smartphones shipped to the US. This raises an interesting question. Do people really care where their iPhone is made? A poll conducted recently showed mixed results. Around 28% of people said yes, it makes a big difference. Nearly 46% said they only care if it affects the price. About 12% said they just want their iPhone on launch day, regardless of where it's made, and 14% admitted they hadn't thought about it until now. The majority opinion seems clear: price and availability matter most to customers, but a good chunk of buyers do care about the origin. Of course, there are also political and financial reasons behind this move. Tariffs are a big factor. Apple CEO Tim Cook has already pledged $600 billion in U.S. investments over the next 4 years. The goal is to secure tariff exemptions for iPhones made in India, ensuring they remain competitive in pricing despite the shift in manufacturing. Not everyone is happy with Apple's decision, though. Reports suggest that China isn't thrilled. Foxconn, which has long been a major Apple supplier in China, has apparently recalled hundreds of Chinese engineers who had been working in India. Replacements have been brought in from Taiwan and Japan, but these hires are reportedly costing more. This highlights one of the challenges Apple faces. Moving production away from China is not simple or cheap. It requires retraining, logistics adjustments, and often higher operational costs. Still, this is a clear sign of Apple's long-term strategy. By spreading its production base, especially into India, Apple reduces its dependency on China. That makes the company less vulnerable to trade disputes, political tensions, or sudden disruptions in the supply chain. It's a diversification move, and while the costs may be higher right now, the stability it brings could be worth it in the long run. What does this mean for customers? Well, for starters, it could mean that the iPhone 17 launch goes more smoothly than in the past. We've all seen situations where certain iPhone models were nearly impossible to find on release day, with shipping delays stretching weeks or even months. By increasing production in India and having multiple facilities up and running, Apple might finally have enough stock ready on day one. That's good news for anyone who wants the iPhone 17 without waiting too long. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could mark the start of a new production era for Apple. The iPhone 17 might just be the beginning. If Apple can successfully produce all models in India this year, we could see the same trend continue, with future iPhones and perhaps other Apple products as well. Over time, India could become just as important to Apple's supply chain as China once was, if not more. To sum it up, Apple's decision to make all iPhone 17 models in India for the first time is not just about convenience, it's about strategy. It's about preparing for a future where production is more balanced across regions, where launch day stock is more reliable, and where Apple has more control over its global supply chain. Yes, there are challenges, and yes, the costs may rise, but this could be one of the most important shifts in Apple's history. So when you see the iPhone 17 launching next month, remember that it's not just a new phone. It's also the symbol of a major change in how Apple operates worldwide. This could very well be the beginning of a whole new chapter for the company and for every iPhone user out there.